a field trip to Mammoth Cave. I was like, wow, this will be fun. I haven't been there since I was 13. I'm ready to go back. 13 and 40 is a big difference there. It's 27 years. About 100 pounds, 125 pounds. And for some reason, the day we went, the historic tour was shut down, which is supposed to be the one that everybody can go to, you know. Like, all right. So they take us to this one that y'all should do. It's called the Domes and Dripstones Tour. They put us on a school bus, taking us through the national park known as Mammoth Cave. And we show up, and all I see is a mountain with a steel door in the side of it. Like, I don't remember that. Jonathan, it was 640 steps to the bottom. And this is what I said. This is how Brian's going to die. Just put a sign out front. Here lies Brian Montgomery. Because if I got to come out of here the same way I went in, this boy ain't coming out. And I said, when the Lord delivered me from that pit, Linda, I said, I will never go back to Mammoth Cave until 2 weeks ago, when it was Jace's 4th grade trip to Mammoth Cave. And my wife happens to be the 4th grade teacher at Danville Christian Academy. Guess where they go every year on 4th grade trip? Mammoth Cave. And Jill said, would you be willing to drive us? Tony, I was voluntold. I was called drive bus. The whole way Friday, I thought, Lord, you delivered me out of this thing once. If I got to go down in the same pit I went in a few years ago, I don't know. I'm going to know if I'm going to make it. And we get there, and Jill's got the ticket. She's like, everybody get a class photo. And she's like, we got your ticket too, Brian. Are you going to go? I was like, I'm thinking about hanging out in the van. And I'll just be here with the air conditioner on for y'all to hop on when we're ready to go. But I was like, I'm going to do it. Why? Because Jace, Dad, you going to go? I was like, oh, God. I was like, Linda Hill said Thursday on Facebook, said, when the Lord delivers you out of something, don't ever go back to it. And here I was in the valley of decision. And I walked down to go in the mouth of that historic tour. And I walk in these big old rooms. You know, they call it Mammoth for a reason. I was like, oh, this ain't bad. We got sidewalks and everything up in here. I was walking. I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. Until they got the fat man's misery. And I like, golly, I said, I've lost 90 pounds, but I don't know if I'm still going to make it through this. And all of a sudden, Jace looks back and he goes, hey, Dad, are you going to be okay? And all the parents and Jill and the teachers, I start going through there, and it goes from fat man's misery to tall man something. Well, you have to get down and get out of that thing. And I said, and I started quoting Psalm 23, loud. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff will comfort me. Thou anointest my head with oil. Surely you should deliver me out of the snare of the fowler. And all the parents and all the teachers were just laughing at me. Walked through that cave, and I forgot, because I was 13 last time I was in that cave. Takes about 250 or 300 steps out of that thing. I'm standing there like, oh. We're going on a trip soon. I'm going to take y'all so you experience it. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, Lord, I think I can do this. I said, I've lost about 85, 90 pounds. Surely I can get out of this thing. And I started taking them hand rests. I'd pull myself up. Oof, 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 oof. And the tour guide told us, he said, I've got a good thing. He said, if you have a hard time going up the steps, he said, do this. Just stop and point, and everybody will stop with you and look. You don't know what you're pointing at, but you just want everybody to stop and look. I get out of that thing, and I'm like, hallelujah. Thank the Lord. He delivered me yet once. I know that's funny, but I did. I was saying, the Lord has delivered me again. I get to the top of that hill, and all of a sudden one of the teachers says, you realize Jill's the 4th grade teacher. You got to come back against next year. I went, oh, dear Lord. What are you saying? What did you say all that for? What do you say all that for? Not just to make you laugh. I'm going to tell you, sometimes we get in a pit, and we don't know if we're going to make it out of it. Sometimes we get in situations in life that we don't know. It gets tight, and we have to crawl. And sometimes we hit our head. And sometimes we don't know if we're going to make it out of this situation. We're going to make it out of this scenario. But I'm going to tell you, flip your mind off of Mammoth Cave for a minute and think about God. Because the same God who rescued Joseph, and the same God who rescued Daniel, and the same God who delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is the same God who is able to deliver you. Somebody ought to say amen in this house this morning.